I'm Heather. I'm Bill and Evelyn's granddaughter. Jeremy and I are the oldest grandchildren in the family, and Jeremy's the cameraman. So growing up, we spent our summers with Grand and Pop. We would spend 2 weeks every summer, and we actually went to Vacation Bible School here until, through elementary school. And so we'd always spend a week here for VBS, and then we'd go to the lake for a week, and we'd take their travel trailer or RV, whatever they had at that time, and we'd spend the week up at the lake. And we would, at that time, there was only one outdoor pool at that facility, but we would go glamping in the RV. And because we didn't do the tent camping, that wasn't how Gran rolled. So, but our job was to, as she would pull the camper in, we had to watch out for bees, because that's as the story before, that she was allergic to bees, so she couldn't get stung. But we had different families that came every summer that we would make friends with. So Jeremy had some friends that he hung out with, the same friends every summer, and so did I. And so we just, it was kind of like a little reunion, coming in the summers and visiting Grand and Pop and the friends of ours that we made throughout the years. And so that's one of the biggest memories that I have of my childhood, is spending the summers here with Grand and Pop, and Pop trying to take us fishing. I say trying because I was squeamish. And so, and our bait was, you had to catch your own bait. We caught crickets. So if we wanted to go fishing, he gave us our little thing with the mesh around it, and we'd go out in the yard and catch our crickets to go fishing with. And but it was just good time to spend with him, and just doing something with my grandfather. But one of the biggest things I remember as a child was, Gran would teach us how to play cards, because you know how much she loved to play cards, and she taught us a game called Spite and Malice. I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but that was one of the biggest games that we would play with her. And you know how she was not a patient person, so if she had, the family will know this expression, but she always said, "If you pout, you're out." So, it was, if you were starting to lose, or if you got frustrated or something like that, and I would get pouty, and she said, "If you pout, you're out. You're not staying for the game." But it became kind of a running joke in our family that if you pout, you're out, on no matter what. And so many times she would try to teach me how to sew, and it was not an easy task. So to this day, I can't sew, and she taught high school home ec, and her granddaughter couldn't sew. But because so, but I have lots of memories. The summer before junior high, the summer before 7th grade, Gran and Pop and I got in the RV, and we took the RV from here all the way to New Mexico and back. And so I was all alone with them in the RV. It was about a 6-week trip. We went across the big part of Texas, and just experienced a nice trip out there. And then once we got to New Mexico, and then on the way back, my cousin Caitlin was born. So we cut through, on the way back, we cut through, was it Oklahoma? Were they at Oklahoma back then? Yeah, in Oklahoma, to see the new baby. So we got to see Caitlin right after she was born, and spent a little time there, and then made our way back. And so I'll never forget that trip, because it was just me all alone with Gran and Pop, and eating lots of vegetables. I think the only meat she packed was hot dogs the whole trip. So, and her with vegetables, she grew her own vegetables, so we were going to eat a lot of veggies, and it was very difficult to get her granddaughter to eat her vegetables. But so that was honestly one of the negatives of the trip, was having to eat so many veggies. But I have lots of memories of that, and we, once Jeremy and I hit our teen years, we didn't spend as much time with them in the summers, because teenagers, we it's not cool to spend your summers with your grandparents once you hit a certain age. But those memories are blessings, and I'll always cherish them.